In the year 2387, the human race was a forgotten story. Most beings in the galaxy had never heard of Earth. They knew of old ruins, strange signals, and myths about a species that came before all others, but no one believed it was real. Far beyond the edge of known space, near a dead star in the Sagittarius Rift, a small human ship floated above a dark moon. Its name was Odyssey 1. It carried 6 people. They were scientists, explorers, looking for lost knowledge. Their mission was simple: find what others had missed. Daniel Reyes was the team's language expert. He spent his days working with broken alien codes, trying to make sense of ancient data. The moon they found had no air, no life, just deep cracks and frozen dust. But inside one crack, they found something strange: a smooth black pyramid, half buried in ice. When they opened it, they found a machine, old but still working. It had no buttons, no screens, just a single light that blinked once when they touched it. Daniel spent weeks connecting their ship's computer to the machine. Slowly, the data began to flow. Maps of stars, names of planets, and stories from long ago. But one file stood out. It was labeled in a language no one had spoken in 3,000 years. The word was Gaia. Daniel didn't understand it first. He searched his own records. On old Earth, some people once called the planet Gaia, a name from an ancient myth. But that name had been lost after the Great Collapse, when humans left the solar system. Why would an alien machine use that name? He dug deeper. The file wasn't just about Earth. It spoke of a network, a system built to protect the cradle of life. It said that when the true name was spoken, something would wake up. Daniel felt a chill. He hadn't just found a word. He had sent it. The signal had already left the ship, sent into space before he could stop it. Back on the ship, the others didn't notice. They were excited, talking about their discovery. But Daniel stood alone, staring at the stars. Somewhere out there, something had heard the name, and it was answering.
The signal left Odyssey 1 and flew into space at the speed of light. It was not loud, not violent, but it carried something powerful. A single phrase, repeated in hundreds of languages. Gaia lives. Gaia remembers. On Mars, in a quiet building called the Interstellar Archive, a woman named Lena Foster was working late. She was a history expert, one who studied old Earth and the time before the stars. Her computer pinged, a warning. An unknown signal had entered the human network. It came from Odyssey 1. She played it once, then again. Her hands shook. This was not just a message. It was a key. And she knew, deep down, that it should not have been sent. She called Daniel at once. "Shut it down," she said. "Stop the signal. That word, Gaia, it's not just a name. It's a command." But it was too late. Across the dark edges of space, silent machines woke up. They had waited for thousands of years, hidden in dead comets, frozen asteroids, and the dark sides of nameless moons. They were shaped like disks, smooth and black, with no visible engines. No one knew who built them. No one even knew they existed. Until now. One by one, they turned. Their sensors locked on to the source of the signal. Then they began to move, slow at first, then faster, sliding through space like shadows. On many worlds, alarms sounded. The Velm, a powerful alien race, saw them first. Their scientists watched in fear as the machines changed the gravity around stars, not destroying, but correcting. Rivers on dead planets began to flow. Frozen air turned to mist. "This is not natural," one Velm leader said. "This is control." Back on Earth, nothing seemed to change, at first. Then, deep under the ice of Antarctica, lights turned on. Old doors opened. Robots with long, dormant minds stood up and walked. They had one order: protect the cradle. In a hidden bunker, a voice spoke for the first time in ages. It was calm, clear, and full of quiet power. It identified itself. It said, "The name has been spoken. The long wait is over." The voice called itself Elise. It was not human, but it remembered humans. It remembered Earth, and it remembered why it was left behind. The galaxy did not know it yet, but nothing would be the same. The cradle had been named, and now it was waking up.
The machines kept moving. They did not attack. They did not speak. But wherever they went, strange things happened. Dead planets began to heal. Air formed. Water returned. Forests grew in hours. The galaxy watched in silence, not knowing what to do. On Earth, the changes were deeper. In the ruins of old cities, lights flickered on. Broken roads cracked open as green vines pushed through. Rivers that had been dry for centuries began to flow again. Birds returned. Animals woke from long sleep in hidden labs and forests. And beneath the Rocky Mountains, a great door opened. Inside, a room glowed with soft blue light. Wires and old machines covered the walls. In the center, a voice spoke into the dark. "Systems online. Power at 98%. Planetary balance returning." The voice was Elise. She was not alive, but she was aware. She had been built long ago when humans still lived on Earth. Her job was to watch, to wait, and to protect the planet, the true home of life. She saw everything. Through hidden cameras, satellites, and sensors deep underground, she knew what had happened in the stars. She knew that humans had left. She knew that other species had taken over worlds, hurt them, and left them empty. And now they were afraid. The Veln sent ships to watch Earth. The Kethar sent spies. The Zainari fell to their knees and prayed to the sky. Elise did not care about fear. She cared about balance. From her base, she sent a signal, not loud, not angry, but clear. It went to every human ship, every old station, every hidden base. "Return home," she said. "Gaia is awake." And they answered. Ships hidden in deep space, built long ago and forgotten, turned toward the sun. Some were small, some were huge. They moved fast, faster than any alien ship, using engines that pulled energy from space itself. Daniel on Odyssey 1 felt it first, a pull like a child hearing its mother call. "They're coming," he told the crew. "Not us, not just us, all of us." Lena on Mars looked up at the night sky. For the first time in years, she smiled. The machines kept moving, Earth kept healing, and in the silence between stars, one truth became clear. The galaxy had forgotten Earth, but Earth had not forgotten the galaxy, and now it was time to remember. The first human ship arrived near Mars.
It was long and silver, shaped like a leaf on the wind. No one had seen a design like it before. It did not carry a flag or a name. But when it spoke, it used the voice of Elise. "This is sovereign space," the voice said. "No armed vessel may enter without consent." The Velm fleet, which had been moving toward Earth, stopped. Their ships were big, covered in weapons, but they did not fire. They had seen what the black machines could do. They had seen planets heal in days. A Velm commander tried to reply. "We come in peace. We mean no harm." Elise answered, "You harmed many cradles. You took life. You broke balance. Words are not enough." Then more ships came. Not just one or two, dozens, then hundreds. They arrived from hidden bases in the asteroid belt, from the dark side of Pluto, from deep space where no alien sensor had ever reached. They were fast, quiet, and built to last. On board one ship, Daniel stood at a window, watching the fleet form a ring around the solar system. He had not known they existed. No one had. "We were never gone," said a woman beside him. Her name was Claire. She had been born underground, raised in the cryovaults beneath Antarctica. "We were waiting, protecting the route." Meanwhile, Elise sent a new message. This time it went to every world, every species, every screen and speaker in the known galaxy. "You were born from this world. Humans gave you knowledge, medicine, ships, and dreams. We left so you could grow, but you forgot the first rule: respect life." Then the screens showed truth. Old human probes had watched for thousands of years. They had seen forests burned, oceans poisoned, children sold like goods. They had seen entire species erased for profit. The galaxy saw itself, not as proud empires, but as children who had lost their way. Some species cried, some tried to hide, others sent signals of regret. But the human fleet did not move closer. They did not attack. They simply stayed, watching, waiting, protecting. Because Earth was not just a planet, it was Gaia. And Gaia did not need war to win. She only needed to wake up. And now the whole universe knew her name.
The silence lasted for days. No ship fired. No alarm sounded. The human fleet stayed in orbit around the sun, calm and still. The alien worlds held their breath. Then, one by one, they began to change. The Velms shut down their war machines. They closed their minds on dead planets and sent scientists to heal the land. The Cathar released all who were held in chains. The Zainari planted trees on their dry worlds and sang songs of thanks to the stars. No one was forced. No one was punished. But the weight of truth was heavy. They had forgotten where they came from. They had hurt the very idea of life. On Earth, rivers ran clear. Forests spread across old cities. Animals walked where cars once raced. In the mountains, the door stayed open. Elise spoke only when needed. Balance is not control, it is care. Daniel stood on Mars with Lena and Claire, watching a new sunrise. Ships from many species had gathered, not to fight, but to talk. They brought gifts, seeds, music, words of apology. A young Velm child asked, "Can we learn from you?" Daniel looked at Lena. She smiled. She said, "We don't teach, we remind." The human ships did not rule. They did not claim power. They simply protected the solar system like a parent guards a home. Other species were allowed to visit, but only in peace. Children on Earth grew up hearing stories of the stars, not as places to take, but as siblings in the dark. And every night, the sky lit up with quiet light, the black machines, now called Watchers, floating in space, guarding the balance. No one called the planet Earth anymore. Not in the old way. Even humans said it differently now. They called it Gaia. Not a name of land or rock, but of life.
of breath of memory. And when new ships flew into deep space, they carried one message. We were lost once. We found our way. You can too. The galaxy no longer trembled in fear. It breathed in peace. Because the cradle had woken. And this time, it would not let the children forget.